Welcome back. The Road Fund Administration launched its 23rd annual 5-year rolling business plan today. The plan allows stakeholders to engage the RFA on its proposed expenditures and also on the National Road Network and related matters. For more detail, I'm joined now by the senior engineer, Nehemiah Kapofi from the Road Fund Administration. So good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Nina. Good evening to the viewers. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. Perhaps we'll start with, you can provide just an overview of the annual business plan consultation process for the years 2024 to 2029.
Thank you, Nina. Foremost, the business plan of the Road Fund Administration is a financial guiding document for the said period, and it's prepared in accordance with the Road Fund Administration Act, which obliges the RFA to prepare the plan based on funding determinations from estimates of revenue that need to accrue from the road fund in terms of the Act. These funding determinations are based on budgets that we receive specifically from the Roads Authority and all other approved authorities, which comprise of expenditure as part of the business plans. Loans are also considered to meet some of these shortfalls within the revenue targets that we expect. The stakeholder consultation is a very, very important component of the business plan preparation before it is finalized and adopted for the approval of the Minister of Finance with consent from the Minister of Mines and Energy. The stakeholders provide valuable input, specifically from the Roads Authority and the local authorities, which then results in the final refinement of this business plan.
Talk to us about the objectives and the outlines, and priorities outlined in this business plan for this specific period.
Well, as we are aware, the underlying mission of the Road Fund Administration is to manage what we call the road user charging system. And within that system, we want to provide optimum funding for an equitable, safe, and economically efficient road sector in Namibia, obviously for the benefit of the road users. Hence, our strategic objective is to provide this equitable funding while trying to meet approximately 6.8 billion Namibian dollars needs from the road users for the next financial year, 2024-2025, and approximately 20.5 billion Namibian dollars over a 5-year period. Obviously, we need to take into account the funding constraints and the collection limitations within this road user charging system. So the objective is purely to meet this optimal funding and closing the funding gap, which we cannot fully meet.
6.8 billion within the next year from this road user charging system. And I just want to clarify, road user charging system, is it similar to toll gates that they have in South Africa?
Well, yes and no. The system itself is a collection of instruments which then comprise of the specific road user charges. One example is the fuel levy, which is our most important charge.
Right.
That is collected at pump when you fill in your vehicle. This levy is gazetted, and that revenue comes directly to the Road Fund Administration.
All right.
The second most significant road user charge is the annual vehicle license and registration fee. When you own a vehicle, your renewal of your annual license disc at the NATIS offices, those revenue also accrue to the road fund, amongst other the mass distance charge, the cross-border charge, abnormal load fees, and to a lesser extent what we call road carrier permits. So these charges and the collection thereof constitute now the greater envelope of this road user charging system.
You said yes and no to my question of toll gates. So is that something that's in the pipelines perhaps?
Well, what we are currently experiencing and what is significant of note is to say that the fuel levy in the long term is being eroded, mostly due to the fact that we have the proliferation of fuel-efficient vehicle coming on board. The debate currently in Europe and the Americas is to say by 2030 or so, in order to meet the target of the UN 2050, the electric vehicles are coming on board. So we would be looking at a component where our charges in the future will be based on a distance-based, and the toll, which is a charge under consideration, would then fall into one of those categories as a potential future road user charge.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. What specific areas or projects will be focused on, within this business plan in the next 5 years?
The current business plan, which is running up to the period of 2028, a 5-year horizon, will lapse next year, March 2024. And then the following business plan will kick in. Well, the projects and programs that we want to focus on in the next business plan, specifically trying to address the needs and requirements at local authority level. One key one would comprise of the rehabilitation or decongestion of the Eneas Peter Nanyemba Road in Windhoek. That's the old Monte Cristo Road. We also want to assist the Walvis Bay municipality to rehabilitate some of their port roads, as well as rehabilitate some arterial routes within the municipality of Otjiwarongo. You are well aware that the previous month or so, we signed a cooperation agreement, what we call a memoranda of agreement, with our Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Tourism to further assist them to upgrade and re-gravel some of the highly trafficked roads within the Etosha National Park. So that intervention, that program will continue. New on the next business plan or financial year is to assist our Namibian police traffic as part of the road safety traffic law enforcement intervention, to see how we can assist them to upgrade and construct the police checkpoint, the one towards Okahanja at Okapuka, for the next 2 financial years. Plus all other ongoing projects, a key one being the rehabilitation of Enana Onuno, the continuation of the light rehabilitation of Rundu Divundu, just from the top of my head, as well as the construction, or rather the remedial repair of the embankment on the Oranienmund-Rospina Road.
Just lastly, Mr. Kapofi, what measures do you have in place to ensure that this implementation of this plan is successful?
Well, Nina, as well as the viewers out there, we want to reiterate that the needs of our road sector in terms of preservation are quite huge, and the limitation of the fund is constrained as to what we can collect. Now, the strategic intervention to ensure the successful implementation of the next business plan, including the current, hinges on the road fund being able to substantially improve revenue growth. We would also want to optimize the collection of the road user charges, which we are currently doing, and as well as manage unit costs on committed projects and programs which are being administered by our recipient authorities to ensure value for money. Importantly, as per our stakeholder engagement today, we know the significance and importance of these discussions, especially with key decision and policy makers, in ensuring that we are on the right path to meet the strategic targets of the fund, and also ensure that the road fund is able to contribute to the overall economy and development of our country.
Mr. Kapofi, I appreciate your time here this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Your final remarks, sir?
Thank you, Nina. My pleasure. My final remarks, just to thank the stakeholders and the road users and the public who were able to join us today at our consultation in the morning at the Mercure Hotel. They are valuable and innovative input and ideas will go a very long way to ensure that we map out a strategic business and financial plan that it will ensure sustainability of our road network, even though we are not able to fully or optimally fund this road network, but the interventions, the measures are actually putting us on the right path.
Fantastic. That was Nehemiah Kapofi from the Road Fund Administration, the senior engineer speaking to us there. We'll be right back after this very brief break. Stay with us.